It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass on Fox 47. It's time to meet Team 369, Rico Beard. He is a longtime Detroit radio and TV personality, Specs Howard broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and he is co-host of Mike Valeni and Rico Beard on 97.1 The Ticket. How you doing, Rico?
I'm good, Jack. I think you almost said the Spartan beat. Nah, I moved on from that. So, yes, I've moved on to a little greener pastures. I'm doing okay. I'm doing a lot better than that MSU football team's doing. I guarantee you that.
I was going to say, I don't know how many green pastures there were yesterday at Spartan Stadium. We saw something I don't think anyone expected, but I don't remember a team turning the ball over 7 times and winning. I saw a Michigan team come into Spartan Stadium, turn it over 7 times and lose in 1987. So we've seen that before.
Yeah, there was no way. After about the 3rd or 4th turnover, you didn't think so. But when it got to 28-20 and they got the ball back, I thought maybe there's a chance. It wasn't. That was a mirage.
A lot of questions, whether they should have kicked a field goal, what they were trying to do at certain points. But yeah. I think it comes down to offensive line play. And if you're sloppy with the football, you have to be perfect just about everywhere else, even against Rutgers.
That's true. I don't know. I think what you saw was Mel Tucker and the inexperience he's had with his team, because a lot of that stuff just kind of looked like a glorified practice yesterday.
Yeah. Also want to welcome in Blue Belly Tom. That is Tom Crawford, my broadcast partner for 18 plus years. He's a regular contributor to thewolverine.com. And he is creator of the Crawford Podcasting Network. And he's a very happy guy today. Michigan State lost, and his Michigan Wolverines a big win last night at Minneapolis. Congratulations, Tom.
Well, I didn't see it coming. You know, I had Minnesota in this game, Jack. I had Michigan losing the opener and the season closer at the end of the season. But it was a good win for Michigan. Indeed, I know we're going to talk about it later, but extremely happy with that offensive line that came together. That was a key element, and just having a lot of young talent involved.
And we are on the verge of Tom Crawford's favorite day of the year when Michigan wins. That is Michigan State, Michigan. We have a lot of other things to talk about, including a dramatic win for the Detroit Lions today. Those Road Warrior Lions with another win, the 3rd away from Ford Field. And we'll talk about the World Series and the high school football playoffs. Much more to come. We'll be right back here on Press Pass.
I'm Alyssa Slotkin, and I know we are better than our current politics have become. In the CIA, I proudly served 2 presidents, one from each party. Petty politics didn't matter then, and it shouldn't matter now. That's why in Congress, I work with both Democrats and Republicans to lower the cost of healthcare and make our medical supplies here instead of China. I approve this message because I know how to fight for what really matters, for Michigan, for the country we all love.
Hey, what have you been doing up there?
Honey, only ask questions that you really want the answers to. Oh. Okay. Gonna get a reward for being such a nice guy?
As long as nice guys don't finish first.
A good guy, but he's got a big dilemma. 3 girls, a wife, are hanging up on his hands.
Oh my God, are we poor?
You are. We're doing very well.
Family's growing and it's only...
I know this might be too late to say, but I'm not sure we should have children.
That's the last man standing.
Oh, what are you dressed as?
Oh, fine girl.
E-I-E, I know.
He's the last man standing.
I wasn't always this good at this.
That's That's Mike. We went to the mall!
Haters, gonna hate. Peace out.
On Last Man Standing.
Weeknights at 7:30 and 11:30 on Fox 47.
The only station with local news weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemus.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graff of Okemos. Graff Chevrolet and Graff Nissan, side by side on West Grand River, 107 years in the automobile business. Stop and see Matt, Mark, and Greg. They will take great care of you. They have on all of my lists and purchases. Go green, go Graff. Gentlemen, we saw something we did not expect yesterday. Rico, you and I were side by side at Spartan Stadium and saw Michigan State have the fumbles, 5 of them, 2 interceptions, a lot of other mistakes along the way. What did we learn from this Michigan State team?
Nothing. We learned that if you turn the ball over 7 times, you will lose. We learned that, yes, even Rutgers can beat you if you give them 6 extra possessions. The final one, okay, I'll give them that. They were just trying to throw kind of a Hail Mary type of stuff. But the other 6, Jack, they were really big, and they were game changers. I mean, Rutgers goes down and scores.
Yeah.
And then Michigan State looks like they were about to answer, and Jaden Reed gets the reception, goes down, and he fumbles. Just carelessness with the ball, no ball security. And, you know, Mel Tucker was going around saying ball security is job security. Yeah. Well, here's what we need to see where the rubber meets the road, Mel. I didn't see anybody getting benched. I didn't see anybody sitting down. So job security was at a premium. Everybody was playing, but they were screwing up. I need to see what the adjustments are going to be, Jack, because I didn't take away anything. It felt like we watched a glorified spring practice. And even just listening afterwards, I thought maybe there would be a little anger. And he was just kind of like, well, you know, we can't do this, we can't do that. I guess I expected just a little more anger from the coach.
Not quite like Nick Saban after his 50-10 debut loss to Nebraska, saying all of his players had quit on him.
Yeah, I mean, the players didn't quit, but they just couldn't get out of their way.
Yeah.
You know, we saw guys out there like, okay, well, Connor Haywood is the starting running back. Like, how did this happen? You got Elijah Collins, the leading rusher in the Big Ten.
Elijah Collins yesterday looked slow, maybe injured. I don't know, indecisive. Yeah. But when Rocky Lombardi rushes for 8 times as many yards as Elijah Collins, you've got issues.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it, Jack, of all the things, I guess maybe one of the positive things that I saw, I know a lot of people, it's blasphemous to say, Rocky Lombardi didn't play a bad game.
No.
People are like, oh, well, if they change quarterbacks. If they change quarterbacks, you still would get the hell beaten out of you because that offensive line couldn't stop anybody.
Rocky Lombardi did about all he could, really. He had 219 yards. He was completing more passes than he ever has before. He had 31 completions and 3 touchdowns. So I don't even hold him responsible for the sack fumble.
The backup QB is always the best person. Apparently, Patrick Mahomes is sitting on our bench.
Tom, when you look at Michigan State history, Mel Tucker era getting off to a terrible start, but we have seen this with opening losses for Biggie Munn, Duffy Doherty, George Perlis, Darryl Rogers, Nick Saban. A lot of Michigan State coaches have lost their first game. The trick is that you don't let it turn into 4, 5, or 6 in a row.
Yeah, in fairness to Mel Tucker, I mean, this is a little bizarre, more bizarre circumstances than those other coaches. I mean, with this COVID thing, he just had a few weeks to work with this team. I was really surprised, guys, with Michigan State's lack of a running attack. And I agree with you. I thought Elijah Collins, Jack, looked really slow. They don't have any guys that can. They don't have anybody to have explosive plays on that team that I saw there today. And their offensive line play was horrendous. And then the sterile atmosphere. I mean, Spartan Stadium is a pretty decent home field advantage. And when you don't have fans in there, getting into it, they're finally back playing football. I think that affected them negatively as much as any team in the Big Ten, quite honestly.
Tom, I think I heard the cardboard cutouts booing them at some point in the fourth quarter.
50 yards rushing.
Well, that's a good thing.
39 attempts. So that's 1.3 yards per carry. But Rico, when you think that this defense, it's hard to imagine giving up 38 points, but only 276 yards. Did you see anything that made you think that this Michigan State team would not start 0-4 with games in Ann Arbor and Iowa City and then coming back to face Indiana?
Well, I can't blame Scotty Hazelton in the defense. The first drive was a little bit of a letdown because the way Rutgers just kind of went down the field methodically and scored. But after that, they were put in very bad spots where because of the turnovers, Rutgers was starting off in the red zone. I mean, one time they were on the 2-yard line.
Right.
So the defense, to answer your question, Jack, the only way I see Michigan State winning this game is Michigan arrogance and Michigan coming in feeling we got this thing already wrapped up. This team is ready to quit because, it's a rivalry game. If Michigan
when you think about the spread, the opening spread for this, 24 points, it's the largest in the last 40 years other than 28-point spread in 92, and Michigan won that game by 25. Are you a little nervous? Not really.
I'm nervous all the time. I was a basket case the night before the 2002 game. It ended up 49-3. I mean, that's just the way I am with this rivalry, Jack. You know that.
We'll be right back with more coming up.
Too much on the line.
On Press Pass.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
Kim Cattrall in Filthy Rich, all new Monday on Fox.
Things can change in a heartbeat. I know. My wife and 3 children were Christmas shopping. Tractor trailer killed my wife and killed my daughter. I was probably the only senator ever sworn in a hospital because I didn't want to leave my sons.
For Joe Biden, health care access is personal. And in coronavirus's wake, we need Joe's plan. Double the number of testing sites, free vaccines, save and extend Obamacare. A real plan and the resilience to lead the way. FF Pack is responsible for the content of this ad.
Lead Bunker Incorporated is Jackson's premier indoor gun range. With 13 shooting lanes, you'll love everything about us, especially our prices. Our store carries firearms, ammunition, and safety protection. We offer classes from the basics to the advanced and home defense. Rentals are available, or bring in your pistols, rifles, or slug-only shotguns. Lead Bunker Incorporated. We support what's right. We support first responders, and we support our country.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Tracking a Trophy segment, brought to you by the Ticket Machine, the corner of Mount Hope and Hagedorn, for the best in sports and entertainment ticketing whenever those events occur. go to theticketmachine.com. Tom, the Wolverines were better cold weather creatures than the Golden Gophers last night. What impressed you most about Michigan's 49-24 win? And was there anything that concerned you?
Well, I was really impressed, obviously, with Michigan's offensive line. In essence, they've had 4 guys they had to return, but they had a lot of kids back with experience, and including Andrew Stuber, who's coming off an injury. I thought that was impressive. They had big plays. They had big chunk plays. They had explosive plays. That's what's been missing from this team, Jack, offensively in the past. They had 4 running backs involved, and including Blake Corum, a freshman, on the very first play. You had 8 wide receivers involved. So offensively, the potential's there. And Joe Milton, I thought, did a pretty good job. Now, he didn't have a hostile crowd to deal with, in normal situations, and that helped. What concerns me, maybe not so much against lesser teams. In all due respect to Michigan State, I don't think the Michigan State's running game is going to threaten Michigan's D-line, but in the future, well, Michigan's interior D-line, Chris Henson did not hear his name. There's going to have to be, in Carlo Camp, there's going to have to be some contribution on the inside, I think, for this Michigan defense to be where Don Brown wants it to be against big-time competition.
Well, if Michigan State's guard and center played the way they did yesterday, you will hear those names of interior defensive linemen, right, Rico?
I agree. And Ibrahim, the Minnesota running back, he's a good running back. I mean, you forget that he only had 1 negative rush last season.
Yeah.
Think about that. He's always falling forward.
Yep.
He made a lot of defenses look bad, Tom. So what I saw yesterday, I saw the best game under Jim Harbaugh that Michigan's ever played. I saw a team go out on the road. I saw a team match point for point. I saw a team take momentum away. When it looks like Minnesota was coming back, Michigan answered. You didn't see that often, especially on the road. I know it's no crowd, but they still went out and got it done.
Yeah, and Jake Moody's missed 3 field goals, and Quinn Nordin he's working through something Harbaugh said in the post-game presser. So they're going to need big-time field goals in big-time games before the season's over as well.
Rico, you liked Minnesota to win this game last week. How surprised were you by what you saw? And did Joe Milton live up to the hype? He had 225 yards passing. That was all that was necessary. 52 more on the ground, but didn't make any mistakes.
Jack, I think he did enough, and he managed the game. He didn't try to take it and become super Joe Milton. He just let the tempo and the pace just go at its own way, and he took what was they were giving him. Now, the person I did like, I think is Michael Barrett, the safety.
Yeah, the Viper.
I like
strong
him.
safety. Yeah.
If you could buy stock in a player, I would buy stock in him.
7 tackles, and he had the sack that led up to Donovan Jeter on the little pick 6.
So, yeah, I like that guy.
Tom, do the Wolverines match their 44-10 pounding of the Spartans last year back at the scene of the crime? And which U of M player will we be talking most about next weekend?
I think we're going to see Chris Hinton and Carlo Kemp be the contributors, because I think Don Brown's going to challenge those kids to play well against Michigan State's offensive line. So, that's what I'm expecting to have happen in terms of contribution. And it's not going to be a 24. It'll probably be a 3-touchdown win, I'm assuming. 21 point. I don't think Michigan's going to cover this ridiculous spread or whatever it is, 24 or 28.
Yeah, I think it's 24 now, but it might go up. Rico, the Spartans have won 4 of the last 6 series matchups in Michigan Stadium. How shocked would you be if those numbers swell to 5 out of 7?
I would be extremely shocked, Jack. You know what it would show me? That what a difference a week would make, because right now you got people questioning whether Mel Tucker was the right hire.
Right.
If he walked in there and beat Michigan, he wouldn't have to touch the ground, because people would carry him from Ann Arbor back to East Lansing.
We'll be right back. We're going to look at the rest of the Big Ten up next.
Time to get your game on. Sports wagering is now open at the all-new Dacey Sportsbook and Tap House, only at Firekeepers.
That's all special effects. Or was it? One host, one time. I love my kids so much. I just want to squeeze it. Host a new daytime show. It's got my name on it, but it's all about you.
Drew Barrymore, weekdays at 9 on Fox 47 and again at 6 on My 47. It's The Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors this week at 10 p.m. on My 47.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders. And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Transportation. Dean is hiring caring and dependable people as school bus drivers in many Michigan markets. Be a hero in your community and safely transport children to and from school with Dean. For more information and to apply, visit deantransportation.com/jobs. That's deantransportation.com/jobs. Tom, besides Rutgers' first Big Ten win since 2017, we had some other surprises yesterday. How do you explain Purdue's victory over Iowa and Indiana's incredible win last night over Penn State?
Well, the Iowa loss to Purdue did not surprise me. This is a very distracted football team with this potential lawsuit for black athletes against Kirk Ferentz that has came down this past week. I think that was definitely it had to be a variable involved. Purdue, Jeff Brom didn't coach, but his brother did, got the job done. A good win for Purdue without Rondell Moore. That's amazing. But the kind of the heartwarming story of the day was obviously Indiana finally getting a top 10 win. I think it was 1987, the day that Michigan State beat Michigan in their Rose Bowl year. That was the day that Indiana beat Ohio State. And that very, climatic day in the Big Ten. That's a long time ago. So very happy for Indiana. They've been close, but they were national attention. They got a lot of pub, and Tom Allen deserves that.
A bit of controversy there, some questions about decisions down the stretch, but it all worked out for the Hoosiers. Rico, David Jones from the Harrisburg Patriot News and Penn Live was a guest on The Drive with Jack Friday, and he predicted that Indiana would beat the Nittany Lions 1 week before Penn State beats Ohio State. Is he going to look like a genius and be 2-0, or are the Nittany Lions going to be 0-2?
I think the Nittany Lions will be 0-2. Ohio State, they are who we thought they were. They dominated. Jack, when the biggest story out of the game is the coach saying he needed to apologize for scoring the extra touchdown against Nebraska, That's an embarrassment of riches. Now, the Indiana game, that was the only thing that I got right on the air. I thought Michigan State was going to beat Rutgers. I thought Minnesota was going to beat Michigan. But I kept telling everybody, Michael Penix Jr. is special, and Indiana will pull out that game. And apparently somebody listened to me and put $500 on them to win. So I'm happy for them.
Looks like we are headed for a collision between number 1 Clemson and number 3 Notre Dame next month. Any way the Fighting Irish can beat the Tigers in Death Valley?
No chance at all, Jack. That Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence, that's blowout city. Clemson is really, really good. Notre Dame, when I watch them play, they don't wow me at all. I just think that's going to be butt ugly game, to be honest with you, to put it graphically.
And you saw Notre Dame at its absolute worst. It has won 11 in a row since its no-show in Ann Arbor, and Ian Book looks nothing like the quarterback you saw at night.
Yeah, and Ian Book, he's a good quarterback. But they just don't have the athletes. I mean, Clemson has just stellar athletes on that team. Alabama-esque. I mean, those are 1 and 2, 1 and 1A. Although I think Clemson's better than Alabama. I'm just looking at Clemson as just destroying everybody in its path en route to a national championship.
Rico, with Alabama ace Jalen Waddle done for the season, should we at least pencil Clemson in for another national championship? And are you ready to say that you're going to cast a Heisman vote for Trevor Lawrence?
Not necessarily ready to give that vote to Trevor Lawrence. Justin Fields looks like he wants to be in competition for that too. Alabama is filled with a bunch of replacement players. It's next man up at Alabama. I don't feel sorry for them. They'll find a new person for Waddle. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence, as of now, he's in the clubhouse. But I'm going to wait and see what happens because Justin Fields looks just as impressive, only having 1 incomplete pass. That's pretty hard to do.
Tom, which team do you think poses the greatest challenge for Clemson in terms of the college football playoff?
Oh, I would say Ohio State. I mean, they didn't get out of the gate. I think the Buckeyes, I know they're 1-0 and what Clemson's 6-0, but I think they have that level of talent closer than anybody.
How do you think Ohio State's going to make the college football playoff after that loss to Michigan?
I'm assuming that Ohio State is going to beat Michigan. Okay, listen, I believe maize and blue, but I got to see it to believe it. And I haven't seen it since 2011.
We'll be right back talking Detroit Lions. Amazing finish up next.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
all new I Can See Your Voice After the Masked Singer, Wednesday on Fox.
This bell will ring again. These seats will be full. Our children will play together and we'll have dinner with friends. We'll hear the laughter and feel the energy of a Friday night. We'll be back, stronger than ever. And Fox 47 is here to help with the Rebound Mid-Michgan. Everything you need to get back on track during these difficult times. From financial recovery to putting food on your table and more, all in one convenient place. Visit fox47news.com/rebound to get started.
Because talk is cheap. Let's look at what Joe Biden's done. During the last economic crisis, President Obama trusted Joe to lead the recovery and bring us back. Now he has the plan to do it again, to revive and reinvest in jobs and real help for middle-class families. He'll listen to experts to get control of the virus so we can build back even better. Joe Biden, a president to get it done. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. That's why I'm there every week. Gentlemen, a surprise today in Atlanta. Detroit Lions used to losing games like this, but Rico, the Allen Park Patricians, and your man, Matthew Stafford, engineered a last play victory, 23-22 over the Falcons. What did we learn about the Lions today?
Well, Jack, I keep saying we learned that Patricia, Quinn, Stafford will all be back. This is a very winnable schedule. The next 5 games are against teams with bad records, losing records, except for, I think, the Indianapolis Colts. We also learned that it's got to be hard to be a fan of Atlanta teams because, my goodness, they find new ways to let you down. Todd Gurley scores a touchdown when he shouldn't have. You normally celebrate touchdowns. But he was sick. He was just sick because he knew he cost his team the game.
Atlanta was charged for a personal foul on what I thought was a clean hit that set up the first Detroit touchdown. Terrible call.
Worst
and
call
then
ever.
if Gurley just hits the ground at the 2-yard line, the game is over. Patricia never gets the ball back. Matthew Stafford never sees it again. But, Tom, how are the Lions a different team with DeAndre Swift at running back opposed to Adrian Peterson or Kerryon Johnson?
DeAndre Swift just gets better every week. And I go back to that Chicago Bears game when he dropped that pass, and I felt so bad for him. But, he's been focused forward. And, he's a difference maker. He's having a great year, I think. Now, I'm telling you what, with the Lions, it's Kenny Golladay being back. I mean, that's getting this offense cranked up more than any running back. And Matt Stafford is, you can see his eyes beaming when he's out there. So I think, based on their schedule, they're going to win a few more games here, the Lions are. And, probably Lions naysayers who want Matt Patricia fired are going to be disappointed.
Yep. Kenny Golladay does not catch as many passes as some of the other top receivers in the league, but Stafford knows he can go to him. Tom, would you say he is one of the top 5 targets in the NFL?
Oh, I think so. The reason is because he's so doggone physically tough. I mean, he went up for that one pass down the stretch, that one catch. I mean, he lays his body out there and makes himself extremely vulnerable. And so I can't say enough about that kid. He's amazing.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the Lions are going to have to pay him a lot of money. And Jack, I don't know if he's one of the top 5 receivers. I don't know if he's worth the $15, $20 million he's going to be asking for.
Well, it got that spike down at the end of the game, Tom, and I was thinking, well, that was a little bit more breathing room than when Jeff Smoker spiked that ball in 2001, right? I knew you were thinking of that. Rico, when you mentioned Rico, you mentioned Indianapolis next up for the Lions. After that, it's Minnesota, Washington, and Carolina at 3-3 right now with those 4 games ahead. Is it possible that they will have a winning record? They could be 6-4 when they get ready for Thanksgiving Day.
It's probably what the record's going to be, Jack. You know what? The Washington Football Club, they're a bad team, but they got one of the best defensive lines that I've seen in football.
Yeah.
Nobody's talked about them because they're Washington and they're a joke. But that defensive line, you know, getting Chase Young back, watch out for them. But, yeah, they should be 6-4 going into the Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, you mentioned Washington football team clobbered Dallas today. Dallas beaten up, and now Andy Dalton out of picture. He is hurt as well.
There's a quarterback in Detroit from Texas if they want him.
Tom, what stood out to you about the other early games today, including a matchup of unbeatens with the Steelers holding off the Titans, last chance field goal missing, and Green Bay with a nice bounce back win?
Yeah, Green Bay off. You know, they were mad about that Tampa Bay loss, and the Steelers' defense is just the best defense. You know, up there with the Ravens. But today Donovan Peoples-Jones with a big time catch for the Cleveland Browns over the Bengals with 11 seconds to go. Got to go back to the Michigan kid. He made a big time grab. Oh, what a great opportunity for him to make a play.
Yeah, and they talked about the Pittsburgh-Tennessee game, and the lead-in was which team was going to miss its Wolverine more, because you had two of them who were out. So I know you were watching that carefully. When you think about the other games here, we had a wild one in Denver and Kansas City. It just seemed weird on October 25th to see a snowstorm.
Well, I mean, that's just how it is, Jack.
Yeah,
it's the NFL. So
go ahead.
Yes, NFL, and we're in the fall. So it was 22 degrees last night for Minnesota and Michigan. I'm not that shocked.
Yeah.
We will be right back, and we're going to talk about a fabulous World Series up next.
Yep. Nancy's ex-military. Difficult upbringing as a kid. You're a drunk! And she came out the other side, and she's trying really hard to be a grown-up.
McKenna's a stepmom, so you get to see a loving, engaged step-parent making these real connections.
I just want you to know that I'm here for you.
When men were writing for women, they weren't writing women the way we really are.
So annoying.
We want them to be deliciously flawed and badass. And making some wisecracks along the way.
Come on, McKenna, it'll just take a second.
Is that how you think I sound? Girl, my voice is sexy. Mellifluous.
Spell that.
Thursday Night Football on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It is time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years. with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most. Rico, we've seen a lot of thrilling postseason baseball this year, but last night and early this morning, there was an instant classic. Tampa Bay rallying in the last swing for an 8-7 win over the Dodgers. How does LA, the best team in baseball throughout this shortened season, have 2 actual errors and 3 mental misplays on the same hit?
Jack, I don't know. It amazes me because you think the professionals, they don't make mistakes, but every now and then you realize this is a kid's game, and it looks rather little leaguish. It looks like, wow, they get paid millions of dollars and they screw up too. You know, everything about that, from the runner falling down and then getting back up and scoring, the errors, but it's what makes it exciting because you can't predict that type of stuff. It made it fun. I mean, it's one of those games that we're going to be talking about for probably decades.
Everyone talks about what happens with Mookie Betts when he's not hitting. He's winning the games other ways, with his legs, with his glove.
Right.
And Randy Arozarena, besides setting the Major League postseason record with 9 home runs, in that bottom of the 9th last night, he draws a walk, and then his sheer speed, he was motoring around third so hard he wiped out, and then still had the presence of mind to see the errant throw and dive into home plate. That had to be one of the more spectacular plays. You're going to see that for a couple of decades, Rico.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you think about it. I mean, if he falls down and gets tagged out, we're going to be talking about how Mookie got him out at the plate, but instead, it was just so funny to see all of that happening, especially with the Rays and their payroll compared to the Dodgers.
Right.
Just goes to show you, man, you can't buy a title.
Tom, when you think about the unlikely hero last night, Brett Phillips, who was not even on the championship series roster for Tampa Bay, he was a late add, didn't think he was ever going to get the hit, comes up and gets that single, and he did not bat 200 this year for either of the 2 teams he played with. What kind of story is that?
It's a 2020 story, is what it is. I mean, this is just the way 2020 is, doing, weird things happening. Brett Phillips was a mid-season acquisition from Kansas City. He's Tampa Bay bred. He was a fan of Tampa Bay growing up. This is a dream come true. This is so typical, though, of how things are playing out in 2020. It's just a different twist. It made it super exciting last night for great theater, real late or real early in the morning, however you want to look at it. And I think that's what Major League Baseball needs. The errors that Rico talked about, that's excitement. I mean, that's why college football and college basketball can be exciting, are the errors more as opposed to the precision of professional sports.
Rico, the Dodgers have not won a World Series since Kirk Gibson's heroics in 1988 off Dennis Eckersley. Ironically, that's the last time before last night that a team has trailed in its final at bat and had a walk-off game winner. Doesn't it seem like LA, as much as they've been around, as good as they have been, would have won a World Series in the last 32 years?
You know what, Jack? You would think that, especially, you got Clayton Kershaw, your ace, but it's something about it. I think it is now becoming mental with them that they're going through that drought. And you know what? If they don't get it done this year, I don't know. I don't think you're going to get it done for a while, because this team was put together. They have to, but I think you're also seeing the pressure that they're feeling, knowing, guys, Tampa's playing loose. They're in house money. If we lose, we lose. We're supposed to lose. But the Dodgers are feeling the pressure. They have to go out there and win. You saw that last night in that finish, or this morning in that finish.
Gentlemen, this series is tied 2-2 as we tape this show. Who wins the series? How many games And who wins the MVP? Tom, let's start with you.
I think Clayton Kershaw is going to be the MVP of the winning LA Dodgers. I think the last win for Tampa Bay took place last night.
Wow. So you have the Dodgers in 6, and Clayton Kershaw is your MVP. Rico, what do you have?
I got the Rays, Jack. I got the Rays in 7, and Rosarina is your MVP.
Wow, I like that. Okay, I'm going to say Dodgers in 7 with Corey Seager as the MVP, but Walker Buehler on the mound in that last game. That's going to be tough for the Rays to top if that's the way it goes. We will be right back. We're going to talk high schools, getting ready for the playoffs. Up next on Press Pass.
I was in total denial of my blindness, and I refused to accept it. I got Gracie, and from that moment on, I began to get my life back.
Out of the darkness, navigating life after blindness. This week on My Healthy Mind.
At the David Chapman Agency, it's our knowledge and expertise that make insuring home, auto, and farm easy for you. Experience the benefit of a local agent who cares about you with the David Chapman Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. Visit davidchapmanagency.com.
Things can change in a heartbeat. I know. My wife and 3 children were Christmas shopping. Tractor trailer killed my wife and killed my daughter. I was probably the only senator ever sworn in a hospital because I didn't want to leave my sons.
For Joe Biden, health care access is personal. And in coronavirus's wake, we need Joe's plan. Double the number of testing sites, free vaccines, save and extend Obamacare. A real plan and the resilience to lead the way. FF Pack is responsible for the content of this ad.
I'm WWE superstar Kofi Kingston. Watch me on Friday Night SmackDown every Friday on Fox.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Lansing's Best segment, brought to you by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority. The GLSA has brought thousands of athletes and teams to Mid-Michigan for hundreds of tournaments and special events, and will do that again in 2021, showing just what Mid-Michigan can be. It's football playoff time, gentlemen, and Tom, you were with me Friday night out at Lansing Catholic. We saw the Division 5 Cougars with a convincing win over Division 7 powerhouse Powama Westphalia. That was a 28-13 count. And Lansing Catholic scored 4 times as many points against the Pirates, Tom, as PW had allowed in the first 5 games. How did that happen?
Well, we talked about after the game, you and I discussed, PW was down their top running back. I thought that was an element. PW is a smaller school than Lansing Catholic. We got to keep that in mind, and has been playing the CMAC versus the CAAC White. And people got to keep that in mind. I thought 2 really solid programs. I mean, we talked about the sportsmanship, just classy kids on both sides of the field. I enjoyed being out there, quite honestly. And Lansing Catholic just went up against Mason, a really good team. Yeah. So they were kind of really bred for some high caliber competition. I think playing Mason helped Lansing Catholic against P-Dub.
Well, you mentioned that game. I saw a week earlier, and Mason has not scored less than 33 points in any game this season. You wonder, they are in the same district as powerhouse DeWitt, which could be a terrific matchup in week 3. But if you look at that, is it possible that DeWitt, with the aim on a state title, could be stunned by the Bulldogs?
Yeah, it could, because, Gary Houghton, he's got that team, and you saw them play against you. You've witnessed them up close. You know how good they are. They're tough. A senior-laden team that had a lot of great performers last year who were juniors on that team, including a great quarterback who plays tough linebacker play as well. I'm thinking that's going to be a fourth quarter game. Maybe I'm going overboard because I know DeWitt is really good. Rob has got a terrific team this year. Yeah. And the winner of that game in Division III, I mean, I don't know if it's Muskegon or who all the other characters are out there who could suspects who could knock them off. But, I mean, they're as good as any chance to win the title, whoever wins that battle. If it gets to that point, we can't get ahead of ourselves between Mason and DeWitt.
Well, congratulations, Mason, on that conference championship CAAC Red win over Williamston, 40-10 on the road Friday night. And how about East Lansing? They get a first-round bye in the playoffs, and they're a serious contender in Division II.
Yeah, I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves. You think of Muskegon Mona Shores down the road. I mean, it would be that team that could be matched with East Lansing, but they got the bye and play a winner of Jackson and Portage Central, a team that they were supposed to play in the first week, but COVID canceled that game from a Portage Central standpoint. East Lansing's got some speed on that defense. Yeah. You've seen them a couple times like me. I really think they can make a deep penetration. They could get to the title game, obviously, if they get past Mona Shores or whoever beats Mona Shores.
Rico, of all the teams you have seen and all the teams around the state, which one is most likely to make a state championship run or be hoisting a trophy at Ford Field?
Wow, Jack, I would say probably you're looking at 4 schools possibly. There's Cass Tech, who is just surprising everybody.
Yeah,
they got a lot of Division I players on that team. Belleville with Jermaine Crowell, I mean, they're locked and loaded. They just got to get over that final hump and hoist a trophy. Clarkston and West Bloomfield are the other 2 teams that could make a long run. I mean, Clarkston's got the 2 big boys on the offensive line, one going to Notre Dame, one going to LSU. And Ron Bellamy, former Wolverine, Tom, he's got West Bloomfield humming with Donovan Edwards in the backfield.
We'll be right back with our Cool and Smooth Weekly Awards up next.
A new day dawns and we greet it with gratitude, thankful for the heroes on the front lines taking big risks daily to keep us safe. We at Dean Transportation stand at the ready with them, supporting our communities in their time of need. We've been delivering food and medical supplies, volunteering our time, and boosting morale to keep spirits high. Our passengers may have temporarily changed, but our commitment to transporting your most precious cargo has never wavered. Dean Transportation, working together, delivering the good.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else: peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemus.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
It's The Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors this week at 10 p.m. on My 47. Gary Peters makes government work for himself. Peters has a Cadillac health plan, only available to politicians, and Michigan taxpayers get the bill. Worse, Peters is pushing government-run healthcare that could raise your taxes even more and slash hundreds of billions for hospitals. Cadillac healthcare for Peters and a crappy health plan for you. And Peters would make you pay for both. More for Gary Peters, less for you. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by 4 terrific Culver's locations in Mid-Michigan. 2 in Okemos. You have the North Lansing and West Lansing stores. Stop and pick up all your favorites. Drive through. Culver's been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. All right, Team 369, our first all-Zoom panel here. Although we did do a show that was a little bit similar to this, guys, when we were in Chicago at the Big Ten tournament. But the first one we have had back here from our respective offices. And I want to thank Faye Steller for all of her work putting this together tonight. Who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's Mint Explosion? Rico, what do you have for us for our play of the week?
Wow, Jack, I got a whole lot of plays that I could go through. I mean, you could go with the Lions, with Stafford and TJ Hawkinson, but no. You could go with the play to end the Game 4 in the World Series, but no. I'm going to go with Michael Penix Jr. scrambling out on a 2-point conversion. I mean, think about that. Tom Allen just said, I'm not even going to go keep playing with Penn State. We're going to either win it or lose it right here. He put the ball in the hands of his playmaker. Michael Penix Jr. made probably one of the most athletic plays when he reaches out and strikes the pylon with the ball. I mean, if this guy was an inch shorter, that play it's down and they lose. So that is my play of the week.
And he'll be coming to East Lansing again in 3 weeks. Remember what he did against the Spartans last year. So he'll be a show, no question about that.
Jack, how about we just focus on the beatdown that's coming later on this week?
Tom, what do you have for us for our team of the week?
Listen, I'm very, very tempted. I'll throw an honorable mention to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. I mean, come on, a 21-game Big Ten losing streak, and they go into Spartan State. Greg Schiano, hey, he's a rookie coach. I mean, I know it's the second time, so I'll give them an honorable mention, but I got to double down on the Indiana Hoosiers, and I'm going to tell you why. Besides all what Tom Allen's done with that program as my team of the week, Mike Hart's an assistant coach, offensive coordinator, former Michigan running back, offensive coordinator, the former Michigan quarterback, Nick Sheridan. He called that play. He's the OC for Indiana. That Michigan flavor is bringing Indiana Hoosier football back into the Big Ten.
Wow, when you think about what Tampa Bay did and they don't get any love, there were a lot of choices this week, but hey, when Indiana and Rutgers do what they did, so we got a double dose of Hoosier love here for you. I'm going to skip the Hoosier Daddy references there. I want to talk about for player of the week. So tempting to go with Brett Phillips and what he did last night. You see him doing the airplane in the outfield. Don't know what kind of speed he had, but his teammates couldn't catch him. It was like trying to get one of the streakers who comes onto the field and everybody chases him. But my choice is going to be Graham Mertz, quarterback for Wisconsin. And Tom, while we're standing on the sideline the other night, Graham Mertz is completing 20 out of 21 passes for 5 touchdowns. Tremendous job stepping in and replacing starter Jack Cohn. And just when it looks like he's a guy that we're going to be talking about all season, now he tests positive today. What does that mean the rest of the way? We don't know. Is he going to be able to play against Michigan in 3 weeks? Not sure about that either, but we will see. It's going to be very important, Tom, to play that game. Tom is checking the COVID reports right now. Lots more to talk about next week, everyone. We will be back and we'll be talking about Michigan State. Michigan, can the Spartans shock the Wolverines yet again? Or will Mel Tucker start 0-2 and this Michigan team go on a roll? Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great week.